Shalom. I wanted to be obedient and get this video out. I've been working on it for quite a while, and I just realized, creation has a language, and animals in the animal kingdom, they all have their own language. And I noticed there was another article about a dolphin or something that had been found, and I think it was with a baby, one of the infants or whatever, with the dolphin. Sorry, I don't know what it's called. And this just happened a couple weeks ago, so this is like my third confirmation. I'm like, okay, better get this video out. And I wanted to show this, kind of made me start thinking about it. This video came out back in August 7th, and I have been kind of thinking about it and watching, just listening to see what Abba would have me do about this. So this was again another confirmation. So I watched this, I'm like, oh my gosh, so it's like a missile launching out of the water. And sure enough, epic video of a great white shark missile launching and surprise breach. And so I started thinking about all these people have had dreams about missiles launching and in the night hours and different things, and people having dreams about, let's see if I can stop this, I don't want anything to play. Stop. So I was wondering, I'm like, so people having dreams about sharks and dolphins and different things like that could, that'd be like a warning. And so that's what got me thinking. So I did search for a table on it, and sure enough it came up. Now, dolphin comes up one time in the entire Tanakh, and it's actually in the Torah. And I found this article, I didn't know this, it was really interesting when I started doing research to see what was going on with this. And here it says, Russian military seeks 5 combat dolphins. They wanted 2 female and 3 male. So here's Moscow, Russia's defense ministry is looking to buy 5 dolphins. And they talked about in this article who observed this colonel who observed military dolphin training in the Soviet and post-Soviet eras. And they said that Americans looked into doing this first. So it's just terrible. And they're training them to do different things. And this goes back, see, Crimea, which Russia, and I'm not sure about land, I don't understand that. There's a whole other issue about that. They have housed this training facility since 1965. The training center was severely neglected after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and Baranets said, and its dolphins were reportedly sold to Iran. So the defense ministry could not be reached for comment, and the U.S. also uses sea mammals to carry out military tasks, with sea lions deployed to Bahrain in 2003 to support Operation whatever after the supposed attacks. So here we go. This is also coming up in the same feed. This was from back in, gosh, when was this? March 9th, 2016. So we've got France urges roadmap for peace. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Deception on top of deception on top of deception. And here's another UN in action on Aleppo. So I did a table. So here is, first we're going to do this one, because this is kind of weird. So we're going to do this one first, and then I'll take you to the dolphin table. This is Oppenheimer. I don't understand why this is doing this, but one time I searched it came up nuclear, and another time I searched it comes up Oppenheimer. So I don't understand this. I'm just going to present the information. So you can see here, and then here is Oppenheimer here. I don't know. I think it maybe has to do with the closed them and open them. I'm not sure. So here's that table. It is in a skip of 53. Amos 5:1 and Amos 5:24. It is skip of 53. So here is Mark. You can see it. And then it's highlighted. So I'm not going to highlight it because this is what it came up like. So that's just what I did. That's how it had come up nuclear before, so I don't understand that. Destroyer, sagebrush, wormwood, and then, of course, a year. It depending, I guess, if you're still thinking that it's we're in 5776, and because Abib is the actual new year, not Rosh Hashanah. It's actually Yom Teruah, the day of shouting. So what I wanted to show you, which is really interesting, is I take, so like this is like a key code. So I take the key code. So that would be the noon, 50, and then Gimel 3. So that would be 53, and then Amos 5:1. So that would be, you can do that two ways. So it would be Hey, and then Aleph, or you can do 50 would be noon again, and then you could do 51 that way, and then of course Amos 5:24. So we could do the Hey, and then 20 would be Qaf, and then 4 would be Dalet. So I look at it as a key code, and then you could do another way to do 5:24. So it would be again 5 Hey, and then 2 would be Bet, and then 4 so it would be a Dalet. Of course, that's just the way my mind works. So hopefully that came up. So here we go. I'm going to go through all of them. So, and I'm not going to develop this very much because I want to get to the other one, where the dolphin table, that's where it came up. But this is important because I think it's connected somehow. So, we're going to watch it come up here. Where'd it go? So those numbers, so 740 came up with this. So we have Oppenheimer. Okay. Here we go. Flame, fire, ash, rocket, projectile, missile, Crimea, acrid, Esquire, bitter. So I'm not sure what all that means, but there you go. But spoiler, I know. And spoiler came up how many times? Spoiler came up, I don't know if it says it, 4 times the spoiler. So, you know, I did a video about him, about he's being, you know, the whole concept of the destroyer. But I thought this was important because I developed this further, and it totally crashed for some reason. But let's see, the Stern group was in there again. We had lots of different nations coming up in this. Pipe. I'm trying to look for pipeline because I really think, because there's an article that came out, but Saudi Arabia was bankrupt. Of course, we know the United States is bankrupt. And the reason why, because Saudi Arabia went on to the Gregorian calendar or the Roman calendar or something. So there was an article about that. So I thought that was pretty significant. So going to close this out. You can see that and, you know, look through that because there's a lot just in this skip of 53. I just couldn't believe it. So what else came up here? Really, the destroyer, wormwood. So here's that. And I'm going to pull up Dolphin. Let's see here. Here's Dolphin. So you can see there, this is in the Torah, Genesis 31:28 and Genesis 41:41 at a skip of 876. So this is quite a bit bigger than the other 53 that I just did. I'm going to go through here. Sub, under, shot, bullet, projectile, missile, submarine, this, so whatever this missile or whatever, I'm not sure, Hazo. Again, Saudi Arabia comes up. So we're going to look at this. Saudi Arabia in a different way. Here we go. Oil, petroleum, Moscow. Didn't we just read that? So gasoline, petrol, an angel. Whether it's a good angel or a bad angel, I don't know. Rome. Rome's coming up in this. Jaw. It's amazing. And then I guess this one, Leahy Stern Group, is a different group than the Stern Group that's located in Washington, and they do all that funky stuff. So here is pipe. The Dan, United. Switzerland. Switzerland comes up here. So again, I did 876, so that would have been the het, and so that would be a key code, and then the numbers here, so it's like it kind of makes it develop, so it's what I did. And then of course I looked up, this is what the computer found. United, Switzerland, somebody's a pawn, Navy, immigration, import, administration, backfire came up in here, brotherhood, Catholic, and Congress. So these are the blue. The blue are all the things that the computer found. So here would be dolphin. And then in the purple, you can see sub is around in here. See if I can zoom out or zoom in. There we go. Shot, missile, submarine. This would be the 615. I did 615. I don't know. Shot, and then Saudi Arabia, Moscow. So somebody, I mean, there's a lot of deal swapping and going forth for resources. They talk about, again, what's very interesting is the whole thing about these oil, the pipelines, because they just had a huge thing in down south where the pipeline was leaking. And then I remember someone talking about a pipeline they want to go through Syria, or something with the Ukraine with a pipeline. And then, of course, North Dakota, with all the demonstrations and things going with the First Nations people with that pipeline. Well, why would you want something that's leaking on your land? And of course there's one going about Alaska. So it seems like there's just a whole other layer of deception going on here with this, and all this was because of dolphins. And creation is crying out and what they're doing. And who knows what this is going to lead to, but I thought, well, since people are having dreams about this, let's look into it, and here it is. So I'll be working on another one. I wanted to, it's kind of sobering, so I don't know what to say about it, except just pray. You know, get your heart right with Abba, turn to Him all the way, you know, and just go after Him with your whole heart. Shalom.